would be for companies to realize that some of their products suck. Some products weren't thought out all the way. Some products, they're missing this little nuance, whether changing this hardware out for bigger hardware, this bolt for that bolt, it's great for the reviewers.
Hi, this is Gary, the Iron Council, here with Shawn from the Colonial Barbell Club. Thanks for joining me today. Let's just get right into it. Who are you? Tell me about yourself.
Who are we? Who are any of us?
Oh, getting deep now.
Yeah. We're going to get philosophical real quick. I am a father of two rambunctious boys.
How old?
6 and 4.
Oh, bless you.
Yeah.
That's great.
It's a lot.
Mine are a little older.
Yeah. My 6-year-old broke his arm a couple weeks ago after jumping off the couch after mom and dad told him not to jump off the couch. So that's been fun. And then the 4-year-old is just a whirlwind of everything, emotions, attitude, everything. It's great.
That's awesome.
Married man. I am, for occupation, I am a maritime welder in the area of Hampton Roads. For all the people who are going to be watching from Hampton Roads, you throw a rock and you'll hit someone in the Navy or someone who works at the shipyard.
Yeah, I've never lived there, but I've been there.
Yeah. So, and you're out of it. So
long out of it. Yeah, it was about decades out of it. But when I was in the Coast Guard, spent some time up there in a NOFOC, and it was fun. It was actually an interesting place to go. A lot of service, a lot of military, a lot of really good people. But I didn't live there, so that must be different.
Yeah. And also, in this area, the Coast Guard base is kind of like the creme de la creme. That's where you go to retire.
Well, of course.
You sit there. Yeah. You'll weld a job every couple of days, and you'll get paid generously. So I'm keeping my feelers out on that end because I've been welding for about 10, 11 years now.
How'd you get into welding?
I've always been interested in it, and there was an opening in their Norfolk Naval Shipyard is where I work, and there was an opening for their apprentice program. So I joined up in 2014 and kind of never looked back.
Wow. Did they still teach that? When I went to high school, they actually taught welding in shop class, with the teacher missing a finger, the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Bunch of scrap. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they do. It's kind of like, for whatever reason, it's kind of frowned upon. It's a program called New Horizons around Hampton Roads.
Okay.
And it's for kids who have disciplinary problems, but it's really just a really young trade school almost. You can go for HVAC, you can go into plumbing, you can go to welding, woodworking, whatever.
Like all the things that make a ton of money.
Yeah. If I knew that, I would have done that way long ago instead of trying to go to college, realizing desk jobs aren't for me. I'm constantly moving around. Idle hands are the devil's plaything. So welding is a great trade to go into, especially if you're young. If you're young and you get into welding, the sky's the limit, man.
No, that's actually great. There's so many good things to do in the non-traditional. I mean, we're getting way off topic of home gym, but with my kids, I got one in college, one about to go into college. And, much to my wife's dismay, I say, just follow your heart. If it's going to be in the trades, go into the trades. I kept saying, be a plumber, because every plumber I know makes a ton of money. They work when they want. 'Cause let's face it, it's Sunday afternoon, your toilet backs up. You will write every penny in your checking account to get him out there now. So it's not a bad gig. I mean, I don't know if there's emergency welding like there is plumbing, but the trades are great.
Every once in a while, there's been a couple of jobs where it's been hey man, you need to come in now. We need to get this done. This is a deadline. You're not gonna get off until 1, 2 a.m. in the morning. We got to get this done.
Yeah, that's great. But we're here talking about home fitness, home gyms, and you are the head, I guess, of the Colonial Barbell Club. So first, where'd the name come from? It's a great name.
Thank you. It's really just an amalgamation of gym names that weren't taken. And to kind of quote, I don't know if you're a big Massonomics fan.
Yeah, I like him, definitely. Excellent stuff.
But if you ever listen to Tommy every once in a while, he's a bit of a history fan. And this Hampton Roads and Hampton and Newport News and all that, Yorktown, they're all huge hubs for history. I'm stone's throw away from Colonial Williamsburg, and it just sounded good. Just rolled off the tongue.
Colonial Williamsburg is a very neat place. It's right around the corner from Ye Old Orange Theory, right?
I believe so.
Yes. They became the Colonial Barbell Club, and you started doing home videos. What led you to that? Excuse me, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, and the like. What led you to getting on the other side of the camera, so to speak?
I think it was kind of a nice departure from just working out. And it kind of put me into the limelight. It really started just doing like form checks. Like I'd reach out to Bremy Strong, Big
No.
Andy, who he lives across the bridge from me. He's in Norfolk or Chesapeake, but he works in Norfolk. Another welder. And he was doing a powerlifting competition and he has a lot of experience in it. So I was like, hey, man, I'm doing this deadlift. How about, what am I doing wrong? And he's like, oh, your back's rising too quick or what have you. You're not bracing enough, blah, 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 blah. And then it just kind of went from there. I was a big fan of like Coop and Gluck and watching all their videos, especially during COVID. Was pretty much most home gyms got started was during COVID. And I really enjoyed their videos. And just recently, starting Colonial Barbell Club, I thought about why don't I try to do this? I think home gyms are going to be the future. I don't think there'll be many commercial gyms unless there's some specialized gyms that you want to go to. And I think there's not only a lot of cool content to make in home gyms, but also a lot of cool stuff are coming into home gyms as well. You have commercialized style products that you can plop into a 4 foot by 4 foot area.
Kind of
And
neat how much even I've been in a little less time than you, just as I got hit a bit hard with the fitness bug and decided it was no wanted to be a fat dad. I became a formerly fat dad and hit the gym. And even in just like the 2 years, let's say that I've been in the home gym or moving slowly into the home gym, the stuff that's coming out is so cool. And it's like out of
yeah.
nowhere, like it's exploding.
Well, yeah. I mean, and it's not just, even 2 years ago, you had Rogue. That was it. Maybe Titan, little bit of Rep. After that, Rep exploded. And then now you have RitFit, you have Major Fitness, you have Macolo, you have, God, I could go on. There's 40, 50 companies that you could get a very high quality rack, functional trainer, cable system, and you can spend however much you want. You can get them however small you want, and it's mind-boggling what you can fit into a space.
How big is your home gym space, your functional space?
Well, minus the washer dryer,
No, no,
the HVAC
can't
system,
minus
and the
that.
water
That's gotta
heater.
stay in there, right?
Yeah, that's not going anywhere. I think I have like a 20 by 15
That's pretty
area.
good size, actually.
Yeah. Like I'm doing some rearranging. I kind of updated my wall control. Like when I bought the house, it came with like those cork pegboards.
Sure.
So I've got built-in wall control, and I'm so excited for it. So I've been utilizing it, getting stuff off the floor.
I have no wall space at all. That's my biggest challenge, actually, is all my wall space. When I was allowed to convert part of the garage into a home gym, all the wall space was taken up with cabinets and other things. I have like zero wall space, so everything has to be freestanding. It's actually been one of the more challenging pieces. Now I'm fighting to reclaim that where that golf cart is behind me. You can kind of
Yeah,
see it.
yeah,
Which was actually a professional basketball player's golf cart, I will say. It might help later when I sell it in a marketplace to do
yeah.
it
There
when
you
I've
go.
had it forever. We barely use it anymore. The kids are bigger. I wanna put something there,
Yeah,
and it's been a fight,
absolutely.
but even then, it's not gonna be wall space because all the wall space is taken, so you're very lucky for that.
Well, it's funny because I was kind of like the more nuanced struggles with the home gym. I was talking to my wife yesterday, and I was like, "Hey, we have a bunch of stuff in our garage that we haven't opened, and we got married in 2017. I'm glad I got that date right.
That's important.
And it's been sitting around for 8 years, never opened. I'm like, let me get rid of it.
But
It's
you
taking
save
up
it a few more
space.
years, it'll be an antique, and the value will go back.
Oh, yeah. And it's we have like plates and bowls. She's like, yeah, I was gonna get rid of those. because I was going to update them. I'm like, why didn't you tell me earlier? So now I'm in the process of chucking things. I've got a shed in my backyard that's kind of dilapidated, but covers just enough to keep everything dry.
There you go.
So I've been throwing stuff in there.
You better get in there before she takes it over,
No,
because then
no,
you'll have no space left whatsoever.
no. We've other than the washer dryer, there's no ties in here.
Yeah.
It is my space. She can have the whole rest of the house.
See,
My
but how
space.
long did that take you? Because I'm like almost a year into that, and it's been a very it's like 1 inch at a time.
It's like a big seesaw.
Just to get the Costco stall mats put in was a struggle. Oh, can you get ones in color? Yeah, if I want to mortgage the house.
Yeah, yeah. When we started with COVID, I was able to kind of shop around for a rack, and I found something that would fit the space of the kind of training I wanted to do. I found a deadlift platform, like a big 8x8 platform for my rack and everything else. And I'm actually going to make a video on regrets, and that's one of them, unfortunately.
That's a good video to make. I got
Hmm.
so into the video thing to the point where I obviously decided to try to make some when I was trying to build out my home gym and learning from other people and their mistakes as much as their successes. So
Yeah.
I love those home gym regrets videos as much as that. Maybe the tours are neat, but the
Hmm.
regrets one, I love,
Yeah.
absolutely love those because I learned what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah. That's almost as important as what to do,
Yeah.
if not more important, because then like this is my second rack that I've owned. Obviously I'm not doing buy once, cry once, but there may be a point in which I sell it and replace it. Who knows?
Yeah. Well, Giant makes good stuff.
They do. They do. I've heard it's a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipeline, and I'm going to be a fan of theirs for a while.
No, yeah, I have one of their cable attachments, and it was very reasonably priced and
Oh,
works
yeah.
well. Yeah,
They're
so
I think they're gonna be a pretty big company next year. They're like this rack, this a 3x3 1-inch hole rack for under $1,000.
it's great, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah,
I
I love
lucked
it.
out. I got mine, if I can move over, that should follow me over to it.
Yeah,
I
I see
got
it.
mine, it's an old rep one, there we go, and I got it on Facebook Marketplace. It was the find
Mhm.
of the century because the guy was just, like, super nice guy, like, really nice, and they just didn't have space for it or whatever. It was like the whole set.
Yeah.
Just everything came with a Rogue Ohio bar, a bunch of weights.
Yeah, dude.
And I looked and looked. It took me months before I was like, and I got to get this. And I just ran out to get it. I grabbed my brother-in-law with this pickup truck, one of those things. I wasn't letting anyone else get there because
Yep.
what a deal. And it's a half rack. It's one of the old rep HR half racks. They don't
Yeah.
even make them anymore. I think it turned into like what eventually turned into their, I don't know. It's one of the ones that they still sell, but a different name of. But it's a half.
Yeah.
It's a flat foot though, which I love for half racks. You don't have to worry about feet, and a 3x3x1, and with the plates. Just so happy. The guy was so cool too. Actually, I've bought. Have you bought stuff on Facebook Marketplace?
Oh, yeah.
I
Oh,
have
yeah.
yet to. I hear all these horror stories, and I've been lucky so far. I think I've gone 5, maybe things, or 6, and every person's been really cool. Every price has been fair. Now, in fairness, I kind of know the prices, so I'm not going to
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
to someone who wants too much or too little.
Mhm.
But like, and everyone I've met, like, is really interesting, cool. I see actually one of the guys I bought something from. I see on the Facebook group, the home gym Facebook group,
Yeah.
group,
That's cool.
which is cool. He's like, oh, I made a comment. He's like, oh yeah, I bought something from you. So that's been a lot of fun actually trying to find the steals of it.
Yeah.
But back on the subject, what is your, let's say, number one regret in building out your home gym?
Personally, I'll probably say not making my own deadlift platform. I bought
Okay.
it secondhand from a guy who he had it in his house. So it wasn't in a garage, wasn't in a basement. And I get over time, the wood has started to warp up because in Virginia, we have really, really humid summers and really, really dry winters. So all the wood's starting to come up, and so are the horse stall mats. So now I'll have to move everything off of the horse stall mats, take all the horse stall mats off, have to take them up with a drill, and then go get new wood, and then figure out if I want to replace the mats with something else while I'm at it and move the mats to another part of the garage.
So you're basically building a new deadlift platform.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty
So
much.
that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not, yeah, that's probably the biggest regret I have currently.
You're a big deadlifter. It's something you feel you need, that heavy duty deadlift platform?
Yeah, like, I mostly do powerlifting
Okay,
for training, like, I follow Juggernaut AI. It's,
cool.
yeah, I love that training app, and it's been one of the keys to help me lose the weight. So, yeah, like, squats, deadlifts, rows, I'm on a, slab, so I prefer not to
Rake
make
it.
big old dents in it. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I
no,
don't use
fair enough.
bumper plates usually. Like, I've got strength go plates that I found on Marketplace for a steal,
Okay.
and, yeah, and I've just kind of just went into the iron instead of the bumper.
Irons, bumper plates, I have mostly bumper plates.
Mm.
They're cool, but the iron plates, there's something about them that's just attractive. Like
Yeah.
you want them. The feel of them just feels different than using bumpers are great. They really are, but for some reason, it just almost seems like there's a guy, Vintage Weights PGH or
Yeah,
something. Goes in. They're
God,
really neat.
what's his name? It's on the tip of my tongue. It's like him and Home Jim Harry live, like, across town from each other.
Really?
Uh, yeah, yeah, they did a, vintage weights Rob.
Oh, okay.
He did a tour of Home Jim Harry's gym.
He seems like a cool guy too. Home Gym
Yeah, Home
Harry.
Jim Harry is pretty funny.
Yeah.
We've gone back and forth, and, very jovial. He has his own Discord, and we'll rib each other back and forth for fun. Because coming up, I did a bunch of reviews that he also got products for, like the RitFit Gator, this Belmare camber bar. Him and I found this company. And we're like, I'm gonna get a bar. Oh, I'm gonna get a bar too. Okay, sweet. Yeah,
That's
Home Gym Harry is
Belmere.
a really cool guy to follow, and he has a gnarly like rack setup.
Yeah, yeah, and a lot of electronic weights yeah, I guess they're called electronic weights. I saw. Didn't he do a video recently on not Vultra, the other one, the one that
The
goes on your wall?
He did more, yeah, the Expedience, I think.
Expedience, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It looks like a cool system.
It,
It's interesting. I probably wouldn't get one. I'm too into like the old school like barbells, weight stacks, clanging and banging.
as a welder, a hands-on. Do you like the tinkering? The setting up, the taking down. Or are you just in there? You want to work out, get it done as quick as possible, and move on.
Um, Depends on the mood. It also depends on what my schedule looks like for the day. Like,
Yeah, 4 and 6, busy
huh?
probably. 4 and 6 year olds, busy.
Yeah, yeah. Like I go into work around 5, I leave at 2, and I have just enough time to get a pretty good workout in. Like I'm usually hour and a half,
Okay.
and then get in, get out, shower, get protein, go pick up the boys. Um, every once in a while, I'll set the boys up somewhere, and then I'll go in the garage and mess around for a little bit, and I mean, it's especially with like with the gator, there's so many different exercises you can do with it, and just use your imagination and see what we can come up with, really.
Not speaking to the gator particularly, but that type of bench, that seems to be the trend. I know some other companies, everyone from Prime to Kepi to obviously
Yeah.
now you got I'm sorry, Freak Athlete.
The three-piece bench.
Yeah, and the one Joe just did, that Apex system, looks amazing. Joe Bauer
Yeah.
just did a big review on, and a bunch of other
Yeah, from the
guys.
tit bar guy.
Yeah, the Tib Bar guy, that looks
Yep.
really cool. What do you think of that idea, that this idea of a home gym system emanating out from your bench? I guess Iron Master started that, really, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Iron Master is definitely the predecessor to all of that, all those companies as far as the bench ecosystem goes. As far as from what I've used and how I've used the Gator and just speaking about three-piece benches, they're a lot of fun. Like there's been a couple of videos of me. I used to have a Rep AB 3000, and I got the clean vinyl grip from one of the newer benches, and I was able to put it onto the old frame,
Okay.
which it's really easy. You just take the screws out and put it back in. They fit. And like a lot of the times I would try and do chest supported exercises, and the bench would be right in my face, and it gets kind of annoying.
Yeah, pretty damn
Um,
annoying, actually. I
but
got one
being
of those
able
bench wedges for Black Friday from AbMat
Oh, yeah.
to keep your, which I really dig, actually. It's not a cheap thing. It's not terribly expensive either, but it's not cheap. It's worth every penny. Just not
Yeah.
to, oh yeah, I'm going to do a chest supported row. you know?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's definitely a game changer when you're not having to, you know, be intimate with the headpiece of your bench.
Yeah, that's not when I wanna find out I should have brushed harder.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Or just use mouthwash, what have you. But I mean, just beyond that, you have the ability to do, like, seal rows off the head pad because 'cause they're rated for a decent amount of weight, like,
Yeah.
again, the Red Fit has weighted for 400 pounds almost, and, you know, that was just them putting plates on top of it and letting it sit there for an
It's about
hour, and
one-arm
there was
curls for guys like, for myself.
well, yeah,
400 pounds, no problem.
easy, easy. But they're super, super versatile. And actually looking at bringing back up Joe, he came out with his Gator review today,
Yeah.
and he brought up a good point. The vinyl kind of takes it away from being like a good powerlifting bench, just because when you set up to bench, you want to have your scapulars retracted and get into dig your lats into it so you don't move. Whereas his Blackwing, I think he has, you know, has that grippier vinyl, and you can get locked in and stay there. So I think the three piece benches are, depending on some, a really good ecosystem or a very, very good accessory bench.
Okay.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting to see where that's gonna go. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
what do
I'm
you
pretty
think,
excited.
is that the next big thing, the ecosystems, or do you think it's something else?
I I tend to I think it is, just looking at what other companies are coming out with. I mean, Tib Bar guy is going to come out with an ungodly amount of attachments. The Prime Shorty bench has an ungodly amount of attachments. It's funny, my sister is currently building her home gym, and she's got the Freak Athlete with the leg developer coming.
Oh, the bench?
Yeah, yeah,
I like my Hyper Pro a lot.
yeah. Yeah, the Freak Athlete is definitely an interesting company. Um, Especially with the bench and just how they started overall, which was pretty
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, I think the three-piece bench is, and the ecosystem is, I think they're gonna start being a big thing. You know, you can almost get rid of like a preacher pad setup or a preacher curl setup. Whereas, you know, like I mentioned in a video, they have a post in the back where you can do decline work, but it's not the greatest decline. So my thought was to take that out and put in a, you know, a T bar essentially of, you know, one upright and then another upright coming off of it, put two J cups on either side. And now you have a place to rest your curl bar when you want to do curls. And with the arm pads, it would be sensational.
May wanna find yourself a good welder.
Mm.
So, what's one piece of equipment that you got that you thought would just change it all and it ended up maybe not being bad, but not what you thought it was gonna do for your exercise? I don't want you to bash on anything, but just even a type of equipment if you want.
I've got a Bells of Steel fat bar. Now, I'll say it's a good easy curl bar. The knurling's not terribly rough, so people who don't like knurling would be a big fan of it. It's also a cable attached, has a rotates in the middle, so you can put it as a cable attachment.
Okay.
Um, it's a pretty good curl bar. It's an okay cable attachment. Reason being, I have better cable attachments. But other than that, it's a great bar. It's a 2 inch thick. It's a 2 inch around, so it works your forearms. I've used it in plenty of workouts. I'm debating whether I keep that or get rid of. I have a giant easy curl bar that's just I think it's like 28 millimeter.
Okay.
Um, you know, just for the versatility's sake, you know, I could get rid of that curl bar, keep the Bells of Steel fat bar, and you know, work forearms and all that other jazz with it.
What's your current favorite piece of equipment, the one you use the most or look forward to using the most?
Ooh, right now, I would say it's a bit of a tie between I have a Mutant Metals arc attachment with the stainless handles, which
It's pretty sweet.
if you ever get, and plus if you ever get in contact with Chris, he's a really good dude, and he's a good machinist,
Mhm.
and also a welder, and yeah, that's how I tend to find people. BM Fab, he's a good welder. Uh, Big Andy from Bremy Strong, Chris from Mutant Metals. And between that and I'd have to say my Rogue V grip. You know,
The
the
new
kind of
one.
yes,
I'm blown
yes.
away by it. I just, got it a couple days ago, finally came in,
Hmm.
and absolutely blown away by it, just how good it feels.
Well, yeah, and I mean they kind of overlap in that they're the big thing they do is pull downs, and you know one's close grip, one's wide grip. My arc attachment's got the -5, so it goes up at an angle.
You like that?
Yeah, yeah,
I think that's
I
a
like
neat
it.
idea.
Oh yeah, the Larry Scott design.
Yeah.
I mean, tons of bodybuilders built barn door backs on.
It feels different, just even, like, with air. When you turn
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
it's
like
completely different, even just a couple degrees.
yeah, and then I'm gonna end up getting the 5 degree, the downward 5 as well at some point. But like the Rogue cable attachment it's a lot of fun. I've been doing like cable RDLs. I'm not the biggest fan of I've got some Bowflex 552, so I'm not the biggest fan of doing dumbbell RDLs with those.
Yeah, I had well, I got a Facebook 'em. I actually have one of the ones that weren't recalled, but
Wow.
I still did they're old. I didn't love them, so I actually got the Rep Quick Draws, which is
Hmm.
plenty weight for me on that. On certain things, I have, just handles, which I can put plates on for anything
Yeah.
heavier than that, like crocodile well, I with it at my strength, I hate to call them crocodile rows, but that idea,
Yeah.
like what might eventually become crocodile rows.
Mm.
So, I love those compared to it. The Bowflexes, if I never see them again, it'll be fine.
Yeah, yeah. But I like because I have the lat pull low row, and I'll put it on the low row, and I'll set it to like 100 some odd, 130, 140 pounds, and I
Oh,
get a
yeah.
crazy stretch like hamstrings and glutes and
Or even like an overhead on the cable machine, just a
well,
straight
yeah,
on overhead on it with that thing. It's really well thought out. I don't have the knowledge or experience to know why it feels so good, but they nailed it.
oh
And
yeah,
interestingly, I had ordered the U-Clips W, and that came in a couple of weeks quicker, and I was like really blown away by it. It was so good for the money,
yeah,
especially, and it really felt good, and the grips rotate on that, not the whole thing,
yeah,
just the grips. It really felt good, it really feels good. And, I was like, "Ah, you know what?" So when the Rogue came out, I'm gonna get that too, whatever. Maybe I'll, sell one on Facebook Marketplace forever. And I might not do that, I probably will keep them both, but because I really like them both.
mhm,
But, like, the engineering on both of them is really cool, but at the same time, it's more expensive, but the Rogue just is blowing me away. Just it I don't know what it is, but it just feels so good.
oh yeah. I mean the Rogue one,
And
it's
I'm
one of
not a
the like
rogue, like, "It's Rogue, it's gotta be great," you know?
yeah, yeah.
Like, if it's something sucks, it sucks, I don't care what brand it is. They just nailed this one.
Oh, 100%. And for the price, under $100 is cheap for Rogue.
Yeah,
It's like people kinda complain about the flanges on the end. I didn't really have a problem. Like
I
I was
like
doing
them.
cable curls with them. I was doing
Yeah, what's
tricep.
wrong with it? I can't imagine why someone would complain about that. They're great.
I don't know. I mean, people complain
I
about
mean,
why the
yeah,
sky's
are they
blue.
like Porter grips? No, but they're great.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the one, that Mario from 4-6 makes that, you know,
Yeah, there's like
is
dinner plates on the end of those things.
yeah, and it's that everyone raves about that, and I guess I don't blame it, but it's, like, more than twice the price plus of the Rogue One,
Yeah, yeah.
and
I
probably worth it. Mario's actually he takes a little heat in the and I don't know why, I mean, in my experience with him, which is not super a lot, but a fair amount, seems like a good guy. He's just very say it like it is type person, which I appreciate.
mhm.
And, I don't think he's ripping off. I just think it's really well made. And he's charging what you should be charging for that, from a smaller company.
Oh, yeah. Like, and the thing about the smaller companies, like, you don't mind paying for, quality. Like, yeah, Rogue's V grip is great, but, there's tons of other small companies making cable attachments that are immaculate. Like, WM Fab is making some gorgeous looking cable attachments.
I don't know if it was on your Rogue, but what I noticed on my Rogue, and it's not gonna harm any functionality, but some of the cuts were kinda rough. I actually had to take a little metal file
Hmm.
because there was a little burr,
Oof.
where the carabiner attaches, and it didn't, like it would have cut me if I would have caught it right, so I felt around it, which
Yeah.
surprised me a little bit, but whatever, not a big deal. I'm not complaining about it. I just took a metal file, and okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
I
Now,
don't I haven't found any of that. Like I've ordered some stuff from 4 6 and some of these other smaller manufacturers, and
mhm.
I don't ever find that.
No, no, I guess that Rogue one was made on a Monday or a Friday, my guess.
Could have been. Yeah. Do yours doesn't have that same problem?
No, no, at least I haven't found one so far.
Well, good.
I mean, I've owned this giant rack for a while, and before I did my review, I did a lot of snooping around on it. I found like one of the defects was there's some like weld spatter, and with the process they were using, it tends to send out balls of metal to different, wherever they go, whether it's on you or on the rack. And one of the holes was kind of unusable because of how stuck the spatter was.
Really?
Now
Wow.
I could just get a file it down, spend a couple minutes taking it down. I actually have a bunch of welding equipment in my car right now. But, that's kind of what you get with that certain process, and stuff's gonna slip through. And,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do a 1-star review for Giant for that. You know. I
No, I totally agree with what you're saying. At the same time, you definitely want to call out companies that take that extra step to make it really nail the quality.
oh yeah, yeah.
At the same time, I think you could knock down a building, like take the Rogue V and just start bashing it against a concrete wall without it getting damaged.
Oh, 100%. You're doing some damage with that thing. That thing is solid.
And I don't know what it is about the Rogue grip, but they just nail it. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
knurling on it.
It's not aggressive, but it's grippy.
Yeah, it's kinda neat. Like, some of the other ones are grippy, but they're kind of aggressive. And,
Mhm.
I have little office worker hands, so I can feel it,
Yeah.
and that one grips just as well, but it's not. But anyways, back more importantly to you,
Alright.
is so you got this channel going, you're getting some stuff and you're doing some great reviews. What's next? What's 2026 gonna bring you?
At this point, I've put out a bunch of lines, threw my line out there, see what bites. I'm still gonna be recording workouts. My goal next year is hopefully at this time next year, hopefully be down to about 200-ish pounds. I'm mostly worried about body weight or body fat rather,
Okay.
trying to knock that down, especially like
How
visceral fat.
far have you come? And I'll put it out there first. I've lost little over 120 pounds.
So probably going back to high school is my heaviest. I was like 285.
Okay.
Dropped down to 185 around 21, 22 years old or so. And then ever since then, it's just been like steadily going up and up and up. And when I really started, especially recording my workouts, I think I was about 260, 265 or so.
Okay.
Now I'm down to about 240 ish. I was 230 before the holidays. So I'll blame the
Holiday weight doesn't, as
holidays.
long as it goes away by January 15th, it doesn't count.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. Yeah.
And
Um,
how tall are you?
6'4".
Oh, okay. So you're a big guy.
Yeah, it's a gift and a curse, really. Um, Basically anything there where Tim from Gym Crafters says fits him, I'm like, yeah, that'll fit.
Well,
I might
so
need to get that.
my sister had the blessing of marrying Lord Humongous.
Uh-huh.
And maybe a little too young, but it's the WWE Lord Humongous. That one, hockey mask, and
Yep,
that's
yep.
literally who my sister married. So he is a
Wow.
big guy,
I'm
and
sure.
so I hear from him, it's a blessing and a curse.
Oh
And
yeah.
he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and
Mhm.
well, he can be.
Yeah, yeah. Well, especially with my job working on submarines, it's more of a curse
That's it.
than a
Yeah, you
gift.
were saying before we hit record that you weld on submarines. How do you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Like, what do
A
you
lot
on
of
your walk around on your knees?
pretty much. I'm pretty much in a squat position the whole time.
Seriously.
Mhm. And then, whenever I have to get into, like, a tank, the tank opening's, like, the size of a, you know, dinner platter, so I gotta squeeze into there.
Wow, okay. So that's a
Yeah,
special challenge.
it's all kinds of fun.
So, like, Tim from Gym Crafter, is always talking about how his height affects him when using equipment.
Mhm.
Well, pretty much exactly American average size, 5'9", 5'9.5". How does it affect you?
Uh, there's certain challenges here and there, like, it's kinda hard to see off well, you can kinda see it, like, there's my, I have an Ohio power bar hanging up there with some J cups.
Okay.
I ran out of room. I've gotten to the point where I ran out of room for my barbell storage off the rack, so now I got to start putting it in the rack.
How many you got?
One, two, three, four. I got six right now. I know
Okay.
those are rookie numbers. I'm trying to bump those up.
No, I haven't got overly hit with that curse yet. I only have, well, 4, so maybe I am, but one's for sale.
Yeah, yeah. I got. Yeah, actually, I have a safety squat bar. I'm trying to move,
Okay.
but yeah, I got a couple of bars on the list. I wouldn't mind
I actually
picking up.
recently got, you have probably a little bit of a bigger space, but I got the 6-foot rackable from Rep, the
Oh
Rep
yeah,
Short, the Colorado Short Bar. Best thing ever. Just for maneuvering it, just for maneuvering it around the garage. I was always, that 1 foot matters a lot.
yeah, it does.
And no jokes, and banging it around the garage, hitting it into things. And with the 6-foot one, it just doesn't happen. So I almost like, why do I even have the other ones? But at the same time, I got, an Austin Power Bar and a Rogue Ohio. So I'm not getting rid of those.
Oh
I'm
no,
just not going to
no.
use them as much anymore now that I have the short one.
Yeah, yeah. I have a couple scuff marks on the ceiling or so from a couple of barbells getting away from me, but
Yeah, right. But you got to keep at least one for landmine stuff because the longer ones definitely work better for landmine stuff.
yeah, I need to like I've got the Darko Shorty bar and it's got the ability to do landmine stuff, but I never really do landmine stuff anymore really.
There's a couple movements on it for my shoulders I really like.
Yeah, like a Viking press or something like
Yeah,
that.
Viking press, exactly.
Mhm.
Pretty much really that and that. I don't know what it's called, but the one where you,
Oh, it's like a Russian twist, I think.
yeah, something like that. I can't find anything else that does that. That, gives me that feeling in my
Yeah,
sides. So, I have the bulletproof isolator. I don't know if you have had a chance of using that.
it's on my it's like that and the VTS are pretty high on my list of things that I would want to purchase
Great
or try.
equipment, great people, great company. So much innovation going on, and I'm a tinkerer, so I don't mind the setup and the takedown. I actually
Mhm.
kind of enjoy that part of it and trying to figure out new things to do with it, but it definitely keeps it fun, but even with that, I still couldn't figure out the rotating move. I could figure out everything else, but not that. That's great.
Is that what Larry wants you to design for him?
But oh, no, yeah, well, such great people. He had a Hexport attachment, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. That's really
I
cool.
like, yeah, it's makes it so much more versatile, but it moves in one of the directions. So I
Mhm.
just got it in my head, an idea just kinda hit me of how to lock it in place better. So I'm into 3D printing as well. So I
Oh,
designed
nice.
and when in CAD, which I've been playing with teaching myself how to use, and designed a little peg thingy that goes into it and locks it in place, and even with plastic, like, really will hold a ton of weight, more than I need. And so I reached out to him, just expecting to be blown off. And next thing I'm on the phone for like an hour with Nicole over there. And like the nicest people in the world is like, oh, you can, if you want, you can sell. I'm like, no, just the idea is yours. Like, yeah, I know he'll take care of his people, and he is. He's doing something with it, and they're coming out with a new one that solves that issue. I won't say it's a problem because it's not. It's just that's how it was designed. But they're coming out with a new one that won't do that. But just the best people like to deal with. Like they're
Mhm.
so sincere. Like he just wants to make the home gym community better, and that for me anyway. Like I'm blown away. I come from a pretty cutthroat field, right?
Well,
Very
yeah.
nice people, and I have a lot of good friends who do what I do. But I mean, basically, everyone's out to get each other and get paid to do so. It's kind of my job. Like I got to win. It's not like, it's not a ton of collaboration when you're out to win. And for, I guess we talked about earlier, but I'm an attorney. I go to court,
Yeah.
a litigation type attorney. And my job is literally to champion people and win. So just to work, deal with people in my hobby, home gym and home gym equipment, working out that are so nice, so collaborative, so willing to like just give. It's just really
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
And like
That's what
the Nolans embody that. They're such cool people.
I mean, that's what attracted me to the home gym community too. Like in the welding field, you're only as good as your worst weld.
Yeah, right.
So it doesn't matter how many, I'll start using government terms, satisfactory or sat welds you throw up, they'll always be like, "Hey, remember that one that that you completely trashed?"
When you're
Yeah.
doing military equipment, I mean, that's no joke.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of specifications that they have to meet. I mean, you have submarines going underneath water and they have to hold a ton
Can't
of
really have a
pressure.
bad day. I had a bad day welding. Sorry about the sub.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you have people's lives at stake.
Yeah,
You're not going underwater, but you have 300 people that are going to. That thing needs to come back up.
yeah. They would appreciate it, so would their families, so they're not.
Yeah.
I get it. That's pretty so what there's a lot of platforms. I know you've been putting out some videos. I actually watched your videos, really good stuff.
Thank you.
But what for viewers, why are they gonna watch the Colonial Barbell Club as opposed to or in addition to really, it's not as opposed to, going on and seeing more Coop or Gluck or Tim or, one of my favorites, Kinsey or Joe Bauer, or any of them. What
I
sets
can
you
see.
apart as, well, a creator?
Well, I think one of the things that people will get from me is that I'm actively on this weight loss journey, and they are going to see me lose this weight over time while using these different products in the home gym community. And I'm going to be able to tell them, hey, I think this is worth your money. Not only being embedded into the home gym space, I'm constantly looking at other products, constantly seeing what's coming out, reaching out to, I guess, higher tier or more well-known influencers like, hey man, what do you know? Blah, 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 blah. Um, but they'll be able to see me get into shape. Cause like as much as he says, Gluck's in good shape. He's got powerful arms.
Yeah.
I forget
He
his
probably curls
name.
what, like 20, 30 pounds, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Like the guy from Hybrid
Oh,
Resistance.
he's great.
I think he's Mike. I think it might
Yeah, I
is
think it's
his name.
Mike. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
looks like
Absolutely chiseled. Great shape. Kinsey trying to go for her pro bodybuilding card.
unreal, huh?
Oh yeah, phenomenal shape.
Power lifter too. I don't know if you knew that.
She
Before that,
started it.
she was a power lifter.
Man,
Yes, and plays football, semi-pro football.
Jesus.
Yeah, she's amazing. Like, if she decides to run for president, like, they should clear the field.
Oh
She'll
yeah,
probably
as
get
long as she
in.
wears
Yeah.
that deadlifting cat hoodie,
Yeah, yeah, right?
yeah, she'll get my vote. But going back to why they should watch me, they'll be able to see like in real time as I get into shape. I'm not like the name in health. Like I do tons of research outside of gym products like medicine, pharmaceuticals, all this jazz. Like I really like being in like the health, fitness, science area. And I'll
Okay.
be able to use all the knowledge that I get from these products, from what I've learned to show people, hey, if, it's as cliche as it sounds, if I can do it, you can do it, you know, and
Yeah.
especially having a full time job, having two kids to deal with, getting them to bed, getting to dinner, you can absolutely get a good workout in an hour and you'll be able to see the results over time. And it's not going to be tomorrow. It's not going to be the day after tomorrow. It's going to be years down the road. I, I was 285 when I was 17 and I'm 37 now and I'm down 50, trying to do math. I'm down about 50 pounds from then.
Okay.
So, and there's going to be ebbs and flows. So it's just going to happen. But my audience and whoever wants to become part of my audience will be able to see and learn what can work if you really want to put your nose to the grindstone, foot on the floor, foot on the gas, whatever you want to say. They'll be able to see what works and what may not work or what may not be worth it or it
Yeah,
could be
no,
worth it.
that's valuable. I'd love to see too in your reviews even a little more of some of your technical knowledge. Oh, these wells are good. You can tell this was made with a good technique. Even when we were talking before, like, all the different welding techniques, lasers and waters, and like a lot for myself anyway. I find that stuff so interesting because I don't know a lot about it. You probably take it for granted. You look at a weld and you go, I look at a weld and I'm like, oh, I think that's like, I don't know a lot of other reviewers that could really comment on how well, from a
Yeah.
quality standpoint, even if it looks nice, something is or isn't built.
I touched on that a little bit when I did my I did two reviews on my giant lifting rack and the Northland trap bar.
Okay.
And I touched on some like the welding and the trap bar specifically because there's little techniques here and there. Like if you look on the bottom, if you look where the feet are, there's two like open holes
Okay.
because it's hollow tubing
Yeah.
on the inside.
Is that to let gases out?
Hmm?
Is that to let gases out? I noticed that on a
Yes,
lot of welded things.
that is, because if you were to seal that up and then weld around, you're gonna build up all that heat, gas, and pressure, and it's gonna blow right out, and it's
Okay.
gonna compromise that material. So,
So
that's the
that's
reason
something
that
you wanna look for when you're buying.
yes, yes. Yeah, that's definitely an avenue I've gone through, but it's definitely something that I can keep going to as, like, my kind of, like, what I know,
Yeah, it's
you know?
interesting. Like you, what it's easy to take for granted what we know that, oh, everyone knows that, but not everyone necessarily does. Like I didn't
Yeah,
know. I
like
always thought that those little holes were for gas. It was never quite important enough for me to ask Chat GPT, but
yeah.
I always kind of figured it was. But now I know. So that's actually really cool.
Yeah, like, I've that's happened to me a few times, like, out in the field. I'll be welding something, and then I'll have to, take a burr motor or a grinder and make a hole real quick, so I got some off-gassing, finish the weld up that I need to get done, and then weld that hole up real quick before anything, expands too quick.
I gotcha. That's pretty okay. So what's your favorite and least favorite exercises?
Ooh, least favorite? God, I'd be lying if I said Bulgarian split squats.
Those are fun to do. They're just not fun the next day.
No, no, absolutely not. They're terrible the next day.
Yeah, I remember the first time I did actually, I think when I was talking to Kinsey, I mentioned this. Like, I was doing them the first time not that long ago, and I'm like, "Oh, this isn't so bad. Let me add a little heavier dumbbells, and I'm doing them, and I'm like, "Oh, that wasn't so bad. I must be in better shape than I thought." I literally couldn't stand up the next day. I had to like, "Can you help me get out of my office chair?" Yeah, so bad the next day. Like, it was so bad. It was not even funny. Like, I thought I hurt myself. That's how sore I was.
Yeah. Um, it's hard to nail down really what the worst exercise. Right now, I've got
How do you feel
they're
about
called
burpees?
yeah, get out of here. Yeah. All like that CrossFit stuff. Yeah, not for me. Not it. Not happening on my channel.
And what's your favorite?
I'd probably say deadlift. There's so much going on. There's so much just in the technique. There's so many different nuances and little nuances you have to learn. And even from like the greatest deadlifters, you've had short and stubby like Eddie Hall. You have gigantic and tall like Brian Shaw and Half Thor Bjornsson. And then you have sumo, you have conventional.
Yeah.
There's so many cool nuances in technique. It could be not even that you can move a lot of weight. It's the technique you use to move that weight is what counts. Otherwise, you're gonna blow your back out every time. Like I had a lot of trouble with back problems first starting deadlifts, but once I stopped and I watched a lot of videos of a lot of guys on Instagram, a lot of tutorials, and I'm still not the greatest deadlifter in the world, obviously, but I can deadlift without hurting my back for the most part.
That's a good thing to say for sure. Deadlifts are tough. I have a bad back to begin with, and I have to be really
Mhm.
careful with them. But you're right. It's all about technique with that. I've been knock on wood, pretty lucky not to hurt myself yet on that one. And
Mhm.
I wouldn't say it's my favorite, but I do enjoy the deadlifting. Favorites are hard to come by because it changes.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
sometimes you're just what do they call it, the mind muscle connection. Sometimes you're just
Mhm.
feeling it, which is
Oh, yeah,
cool.
like, I was doing for the longest time, I was doing nothing but SSB squats, nothing but safety bar squats, and then I got a pair of squat shoes, and I started doing high bar again, and I'm like, "Man, this hits my quads so much better." And I tried squat shoes with the SSB again, and it didn't feel as good.
Yeah. Yeah. Did it change? Did you change? Both,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What now that you're getting more and more into the gym community aspect of it with the discords and making videos, what's the biggest thing that surprised you that you weren't expecting?
Welcoming everyone is.
Yeah, right?
Everyone's got the same mindset that they're just trying to get healthy. They're just trying to get stronger for whatever reason, whether it's for competition, whether it's for their family, whether it's just because. Everyone's trying to get bigger, stronger, faster. There's new things coming out every day that will kill you. There's all these comorbidities and all this other jazz. And
Yeah.
I think the light side of COVID made people realize that it's time to get healthy. If you were technically obese, you might die from COVID. And I think that lit a lot of fire in a lot of people's butts to get started. And this home gym community is nothing but people who want to get healthy.
Neat,
And
isn't it?
oh
It
yeah,
blows me away just how welcoming it is. Now, if there's one thing though that if you had a magic wand, you could change about the scene, what would that be?
that's hard. There's not too many negatives. I guess I'll bring up the topic that we were briefly talking about before we got officially started, would be for companies to realize that some of their products suck.
Okay.
Some products weren't thought out all the way. Some products, they're missing this little nuance, you know, whether it's changing this hardware out for bigger hardware, this bolt for that bolt, which is it's great for the reviewers because if, you know, say RitFit sends out a prototype, X, Y, and Z are wrong with the prototype, they can send feedback back to RitFit, say, hey, this is what I learned. This could be a good solution. Do with that what you will. And a lot of these companies are very receptive to criticisms and feedback.
A lot of them aren't though, like you're so right about that. So many of them are so cool, but there's so many of them that could care less, right? Like
Yeah.
this is the product, you don't buy it, someone else will buy it.
Yeah.
Or
Take it or leave
I'm
it.
not saying maybe they're that nasty, but it's almost like we're making equipment, you figure out how to use it your way versus companies are like, hey, I'm working out. I wanted this. I made it. I like it. You may like it too.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I'll bring up the Belmere Fitness, the camera bar. I had a call from them earlier today and they're like, hey, how's the bar going? How's the review going?
Oh,
And,
wow.
I laid out some things. There was a welding issue that I was able to bring up,
Okay.
obviously, because, yeah, my expertise, on top of just like a few other things. Like they had this really interesting not cable, sleeve setup in which you can slip out 1 inch and 2 inch sleeves, which is pretty cool.
Okay.
They started out bringing out these collars that kind of clamp on, and that's kind of like the stops. You know how like you'd have your barbell collars that, yeah, the collars, and then you would put your weight on, and then collars after that. And it's kind of cool because you can set the weight at different increments, but it's not a great hold on the bar. And I told them, hey, you should probably switch to welding out your stops, your collars, because it's going to be a little bit more stable. The position isn't super important, in my opinion, as far as how far it is to your body,
Okay.
especially with like these camber bars. From what I've seen in the market, no other company is really moving the weights in or out. That's kind of something you could conform to. But they were very receptive. They're like, yeah, we're actually working on putting welded stops onto the bar. I'm like, oh, cool. You're ahead of the game.
So they want to make a good product. They don't just want to make a
Yes.
product. They want
Yes.
to make a good
I
product.
love companies that wanna make their products better for people.
Yeah, and always surprising to me, not just in this industry, but in every industry, how many really don't,
Yeah.
They just wanna
Yep.
make a product and, "Hey, this is the way it works," and, the problem
Yeah.
is with you, not with our product. You're not
Yeah.
using
Take
it
it or
right.
leave it.
So and maybe that's the case. Maybe I'm not using it right, but still, take the feedback and, if back a long time ago, I was in the restaurant biz for a little bit,
Mhm.
and, there was a saying that for every one customer that complains, there's 100 that just go away quietly.
Oh.
So, and I think more companies need to realize that, like, when someone's complaining, especially if they're complaining in a good way, it's a good thing because it's an opportunity to get feedback in what's wrong with your service. Because
Mhm.
most people aren't going to take the trouble to complain. They're just going to go away quietly and buy something else, which doesn't make a lot of sense. Don't attack people when they criticize you. Take it I mean, we won't say any, we won't call out any names, Tolkien.
Huh.
But,
Huh. What was
you
that?
know,
Huh?
something take the criticism, Vulcan. Um, don't get mad about it. Use it as an opportunity to grow and make a better product that'll review better.
Yeah.
So be
Like,
it.
I was listening to the Garage Gym Experiment with, Jake and Mike, and they were talking about a company that bowed out of the 2024 Home Gym Con. or 2025. This, yeah, 2025. It was the company that that Gluck is having trouble with, and they could have brought their rack to Home Gym Con, gotten the feedback about why this product shouldn't come to market yet, what needs to be fixed, and if that were to happen, you would have had a contender against I guess the Rep Aries was in that market,
Yeah.
the Rogue Functional Trainers, they would have been in contender, in my opinion. But nah,
There's space for a lot of companies. The garage
yeah,
gym is blowing up. So it's
100%.
it's not like there's not going to be repeat business even if you make it well. So, all right.
Hmm.
So, as we're getting close to end of time, what's something we didn't speak about that you'd like to bring to light?
Jesus.
It's always a hard one.
Yeah, yeah, that is a hard one. As far as like home gym community or just everything in general,
Whatever you want to leave everyone with.
I don't think the home gym community is going anywhere anytime soon. I think if anything, it's going to get bigger. You're going to have more smaller companies popping up to make great products. And you're going to have companies that make absolute bangers of products right off the bat. You're going to have some that has to work for it to make good products. But there is space at the top for everyone. And if, you know, I think that is a hard question.
Seems like there's a
And
lot of room for companies to. I love this trend into collaborating with the
yes,
small creators of really cool devices that don't have that infrastructure. And then these bigger companies that are coming and saying, hey, let's work together.
yes, yes.
I love that.
That's a really, I mean, and you're not seeing like any other industry do that.
No, not many.
You're not seeing Ford and Toyota ask their customers what they should change about their cars. They're just, okay, let's put Bluetooth in this one. Let's put whatever in this one.
Let's make them all look pretty much exactly the same except for the logo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's make them all from the same factory. I mean, granted, that kind of happens in home gyms too, but yeah, you have people saying, "Hey, what can we do to make this better? How can we change this? How can we change that?" And you have great minds out there, like Coop, who's been around gym products for a while, and he's seen, you could change this, you could change that. You have Gluck, who I'm isn't he? I'm pretty sure he's an engineer, right, or was an
I think
engineer.
so. He was a teacher, right? Of like technical teacher, if I'm not
Something
mistaken.
like that. And then
Yeah.
you have, Mike from Jungle Gym Reviews, I know he was an engineer because 'cause I'm on his Patreon.
Oh, okay.
And you have all these bright minds out there looking at these products as well, being able to give them the companies these criticisms and critiques and what they should fix.
Or just make it better. Look at dialed motion. Like what they're
Oh my
doing is
god.
so cool.
Yeah. And
And then
they've
they have the partnership with PRX and just
and Rep.
fantastic. Yeah, and Rep now, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just
Like,
so
I was
great
just
to see.
oh, yeah, I was just talking to someone, on Discord, and they're talking about the cable retractors
Cool.
that Dialed Motion has. And I was like, "Oh, man, it'd be really cool if I could put it on my weight stack." And he's like, "You can." I'm like, "Oh, man, now I gotta drop a couple $100 to get one."
And wait 6 months.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're the unicorn of the home gym community, because by the time they go pre-order, it's like they're all gone, which I don't
Yeah,
blame
yeah,
them because 'cause they're
it's like
just
winning the
so
lottery.
different. Yeah, it's like, "Hey, I got a dialed motion." But
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that'll solve itself as they ramp up, but the stuff they came out with is so cool. If the leg developer unit lives up to half of what people are expecting,
Oh,
they'll be the
yeah.
most amazing thing out there.
Well, even their I don't know if you saw their strap safeties.
So
They
cool.
just yeah, yeah, they're just like magnets, and it's like, "Oh god, who"
Yeah, nice and easy.
100%.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be hard, and it doesn't have to be as traditional. That's where I like hit on bulletproof fitness again, is coming up with these new ideas and new ways of doing things for the home gym. This
Mhm,
evolution for what worked in a commercial space everyone's used to. Well, I've now spent more time in my home gym than I ever spent in a commercial gym. So I
mhm.
really don't
Same
care
here.
about the way they do it at, one of these commercial gyms. I care about the way it's done in a garage. It doesn't have to look the same. Just
No.
make it work the same or better or the home gym, which I
Yeah.
think was really cool. Hey, it's been so much fun speaking with you. How can people find you on the various platforms?
Well, If you go on Instagram, I'm at Colonial Barbell Club. Same thing for YouTube. On Facebook, if you want to find me on there, I'm Shawn Burnett on Facebook. I've just started getting into TikTok, just trying to drive people to
Oh,
my
okay.
YouTube. Same thing over there, Colonial Barbell Club. Trying to think. I think I'm on Threads too. Just trying to get my name out there, trying to
It's a
up my
unique enough
game and do a
name.
few
I don't think
skills.
anyone's gonna have a problem if they just look for the Colonial Barbell Club.
Yeah, you'll find me.
Yeah. Oh, look, that was excellent. I want to thank you so much for taking the time,
Thank you.
and visiting, Shawn. It's actually been a pleasure, and I've learned a couple of things like what those holes are for on the welding and cool stuff. And I look forward to getting an opportunity to interact with you some more and watch your videos, learn some more stuff. Thank you so much. This has been Gary, the Iron Council. Happy lifting, everyone.